Hi again. Here we are to talk about WordPress, and we've got our theme set up pretty good. We got our widgets down here in their columns, and I'd like to just address a couple issues, and then we can move on to some other stuff. So right now, what I'd like to do is take a look at these things, and I don't really like this with the title below the picture here. What I want to do is I want to move the title and kind of place it right up in here like this. And then also you'll notice right now the title is a link to the article, but the image is not a link. So what I'm expecting is that people will want to click on the picture here to also activate this link, right? So how can we do that, right? So remember, this is in our homepage .php, which is this file. And if we look at that file at the top here, it says get header, so that's where the header shows up, and then it's got this begin displaying posts and comments, right? So this is the main part of the page. This is our large banner image, and then this is the content below it. And then if we go down a little ways further, where it says WP query, right? This is where we're displaying the three items, okay, below the content. And you can see it says category name departments and post per page 3. So this is where those three items from the departments category are showing up. And so each of these, the image and the title here, are in this block right here. So they're a grid 33, and then they have the post thumbnail here, which is the picture, and then there's the H1 and the anchor tag, which is below it, okay? So to make the post thumbnail clickable, we need to wrap it in an anchor tag, okay? So, and there's a lot of ways we could do this. What I think I'm going to do, and I think that this will work okay, is what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the anchor tag here and move it up above, okay? So now these things are all inside the anchor tag, right? And then this closing anchor tag here now needs to move outside like this, okay? And then maybe I'll rearrange this so it looks a little better there. Okay, so now we've got an anchor tag that surrounds, the image and the H1 with the title. So this might look a little weird here because normally the anchor tag's an inline element, and these elements, like the picture is actually inline, but the H1 is really a block. So usually you want to put the inline element inside a block. But what we'll do is we'll declare this anchor tag as display block, okay, in our style sheet, and that'll make it work okay. So let's also add a class to this element. So I'm going to add it to the A tag, and we'll call it feature post or something, right? Or maybe I should call it feature department. How about like that, right? And then we'll copy the name because we're going to use that in our style sheet, okay? So what are we going to do? Well, we'll declare this as display block, okay? And then what we're going to do is we're also going to give it this element position relative. And then for the H1 in here, we'll give this position absolute, and then that'll allow us to position this anywhere inside this relative parent element, okay? So I'm going to switch to my style sheet, and I've created a comment down here at the bottom to remind me that these are my homepage styles, and then this is where my feature department code is going to go, right? So I'll say feature department. Now remember, that's the A tag, and we'll say that is going to be position relative display block. And then I think that that's good. I think that's all we need for that guy. And then, you could give this H1 a class name also if you want, and that would be fine. I think I'll just use the child selector. How about that? That'll be simple, right? So we'll just use the child selector there. And then what we'll do is we'll say this guy's going to be position absolute. So his parent is relative. So when we figure our left, right, top, and bottom from position absolute, they will be using the edges of this object here, their relative parent, okay, to find the positions, right? So we'll say this, and then we'll do left of 0, top of maybe 20 pixels, something like that, right? So I'll save that. Let me make sure that gets updated in Fetch, and then I'll refresh my page here. Oh, there we go. So there's my my title there. It's a little too close to the edge and maybe a little too far down. Let's inspect it really quick here. I think it's so far down there because of the margin, right? Yeah, see I only want it down 20, but then it's got a lot of margin at the top and bottom, the orange, right? So why don't we do this? Let's go back to our style sheet and say margin 0, right? And then I want to set a background color, and I want to use, oops, you know what, I forgot the semicolon there. Background, and I want to use an RGBA color. I want to use a transparent color, so I'll do it white, and I'll make it 70% transparent, right? And then we'll save that and refresh it here. And I don't see my color there. Let's see, something's missing there. Did I save that? Okay. Oh, there we go. So there's the color there, right? And the color just goes right up to the edge of the text, which isn't very good. So maybe we need a little bit of padding, right? So let's add some padding. Let's say padding of, now remember it's going to be top, like this is top, right, bottom, and left. So for the top, why don't we do half an M, and then for the right, we'll do half an M, and for the bottom, we'll do half an M, and then for the left, we'll do 1 M. And you can adjust these, right? Maybe I'll play with the numbers too, but we'll just start here. So let me make sure that got uploaded, and then I'll refresh this. Yeah, there we go. Maybe that's a little too much padding, right? But anyway, that's the general effect that I'm looking for, right? So anyway, so hopefully that's helpful and maybe gives you some good ideas for the stuff you're working on, and thanks for watching.